Joining us from South Dakota State, head men's basketball coach Eric Henderson, student athletes Alex Arians and Matt Mims. Our normal format will be an opening statement from coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes, dismiss the student athletes, come back to questions for coach. As always, please identify your name and organization ahead of time. Go ahead with your opening statement, coach.
Well, we ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Obviously, give Dave and his team a lot of credit. They played terrific, and they probably have a first round draft pick on their team, and he played really good. And we just kind of fighting it the whole night and could never really just kind of get them going. But to our guys' credit, they had a ton of fight, and these two beside me were really amazing. And our seniors, this is really hard. It's always hard, but Alex and Matt have been with me for 6 years, our program for 6 years, and Aaron Fegan for 5 years. And we have 5 senior managers. That's the hardest part. This is never a fun day. But what these guys did for our program, our seniors, and obviously Mimsy has one more to go, but I'm forever grateful for them. And it's never how you want it to end, but sometimes you just have to tip the cap.
Go ahead with questions for the student athletes. Tim.
Jim, reaching the summit. Mimsy, you're always the guy out there, whether you guys are rolling or trying to get out of a rush, to just pull guys together. You're doing it tonight, showing no quit, even against everything going on. What are you telling the guys when they can't hear Hendo calling signals from the sidelines?
If I ever hear like Hendo, I do my best to echo some of the stuff he says. Just try to bring positivity. We're struggling a little bit, but I just try to bring the guys together, say words that will bring everyone together. I just know that's kind of my role, so I try to do that to the best I can.
They're beating big aggressive to go. Man, you get those 2 early threes that after you go down by 15. They're kind of routing the team a bit. Just talk about the team's fight there in the first half, and Alex also hitting big jump spots and routing the team.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we knew that if we could just keep chipping away, that our fans would get into it and we would feed off of that. So we just kept telling ourselves, just every possession, just fight. That just kind of gave us momentum over there. Talk
about Cam reaching the summit for Alex. Alex, as your time comes to an end, what are some of the things you'll miss the most of your time?
I think being around the guys, being at practice every day. Coming to school, I knew that everyone on the team was close, and that's how it's been ever since I've been here. So, I definitely miss being around the guys, but I definitely won't be far. I'll definitely be following these guys, for as long as I live, I'll follow the Jacks. Love this place, love the people, and love the guys on the team.
Okay, man.
Alex, they went on that 17-0 run in the first half, and then you guys answered right back with a big run, really got the crowd into it, kind of took the momentum back. What were you able to do to create that momentum, and why do you think you weren't able to recreate it later?
I think we just had to stay stubborn on offense. We were getting to our spots in the first half, kind of made our run. We went down early, but we were struggling to get stops on defense. Obviously, they made a run and just never really caught up.
Jeff, go back and form. Alex, what was the toughest matchup for you guys against SDSU? Is there one matchup there, one guy that's tough?
No, not really. We think in terms of team defense, so we know that it's not just whoever you're guarding across from you. We know you're gonna have to help. I think they were obviously physical in the paint. I think Andrew Morgan and Grant did a terrific job physical down there. Really got to their spots and we're getting really what they wanted. So I wouldn't say one person killed us. I think, when we look at it, we need to stop all 5 guys together, and we didn't do that tonight.
We'll go last question right here.
For me, ESPN Sioux Falls, Alex, I know it's special to play up in the Brookings for your career. Here in Sioux Falls, pretty darn special too. Just to comment on the fans, the atmosphere you've been able to play in front of here at Sioux Falls.
Yeah, fans are electric. They're amazing. I love them to death. They've had our back every step of the way, and proud that I can say that I'll be a Jackrabbit fan for life. So,
Alex, Matt, thank you. Head back to Larry.
thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks.
Go ahead, Tim.
And, you guys don't normally get pushed around. What seemed to be the difference tonight on the glass? I mean, just we couldn't get anything going there with Grant and Morgan just really taking care of it.
Yeah, they got us in the paint early. 17 of their first 20 points were in the paint, and it's been, and you probably have heard me say this a few times, Tim, the rebounding has been a concern of mine for the whole year. And we need to make sure we get better at it. We got rebounded again tonight. And that was a big part of it early too, I thought, Tim. They kind of out-physicaled us. A couple offensive rebounds. I think 8 of their first 12 points were off second chance points. And if we get those stops and we can play with a little more pace, it may be a little bit different story. But they're good players now. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, Grant and Andrew are both big dudes. Grant is extremely long and can get his hands on some balls that not a lot of other dudes in our league can. So it's a hard matchup. We'll get better. We'll get better. I know we will, but they just kind of out-physicaled us early, I think.
Their DB did press it to Dakota. Coach, just in the first half, they go 1 for 10 shooting for 3. Second half, 7 of 10. Just besides Grant Nelson, they have some really dagger shots. Just talk about how it is trying to defend the team with that many spot up shooters.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. Yeah, I mean, they gave us a lot of challenges on when we were playing defense. But when you have a 10 to 12 point lead, you're able to let those go a little freer, and we needed to get it a little closer where maybe that basket got a little smaller for some of those guys where, you're up 13, 14 points. It's maybe a little bit easier shot, but give them credit. They made shots and they scored. We talk about it a lot. We look at it where you score in 3 different ways, in the paint, on the arc, and at the free throw line. And we didn't take any of them away tonight. So we got beat.
Marcus Trax from Mitchell Republic. Coach, you talked a little bit about fighting it, and I think over the 2 games here, Zeke was probably fighting it a little bit. What were you seeing from him that just made the struggles for him on offense?
Zeke's a tremendous player, and obviously he's disappointed with how he played, but we had our backs against the wall a few times this year. And I told our guys in the locker room that what I remember most about this team is how they dealt with adversity. We dealt with a lot this year, and to be able to finish second in our league in the regular season, I don't even know what our record is, to be honest with you, but I know we won more than we lost, and that wasn't the case early on in the season. How we dealt with tough times was pretty special. And I know Zeke fought it a little bit this weekend, but what I'm most excited about is how he'll respond just like our whole team did this year.
Zach Moore, People News Now. Hendo, you've been on both sides of this rivalry, obviously having coached there.
Mhm.
There are a lot of coaches and programs that either publicly or privately kind of bristle about having to play you guys here, the advantage you guys have by this being in Sioux Falls. They've never done that. They've always played you either well or they've beaten you. What about them have you seen over the years? It's allowed them to kind of not be fazed by this atmosphere and thrive in it at times.
Because Dave worries about what he can control. And when you worry about what you can control, that's probably when I think that's one way to approach it. And Dave does a terrific job. I have a lot of respect for Dave. I worked for Dave. I worked for a few other people back there. They're great people. And but I'm not saying that other people in our league are not that, because I know what you're getting at, and I'm not saying that about Oral Roberts. But Dave does a great job, and he talks about that. Control what you can control. And he had his guys ready, and he has his guys ready more times than not. But I know this, our team is going to get better in the offseason, and we'll be ready, and we'll come back fighting, because we're going to control what we can control too.
Andrew Bolton, Perkins Register. Obviously not the way you wanted it to end tonight, but do you think there'll be any other postseason opportunities for you guys?
Man, this is a really hard day, Andrew. I don't even think about that stuff right now. I didn't think we were going to lose. Every time we play, I don't think we're going to lose. And so that's something that I haven't even talked to our players about. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that go into, why you would play and why you wouldn't play. And we'll talk about that as a staff and administration and go from there.
Last question, right here. Kind of a hard one for you, Endo.
Uh-oh.
The last few years, whether it be Doug and Baylor, Alex and Matt, you've had some veterans every year that have gone through the program multiple years. Going forward, it's now Mims and Charlie and Zeke. After this time passes and you can really reevaluate everything, what kind of offseason do you have with those guys going forward and put the keys in their hands?
It's just, how we've done it within our program. We don't really have captains. We just, we expect all of our guys to, represent our school and with great character. And we have 5, traits that we talk about all the time that are in a circle that keeps us together. And it's just kind of a next man up mentality, and that's how we go about things. We're not going to feel sorry for ourselves tonight for losing. We're just gonna get back on the court, give them a little time off, and we'll start working. And we'll work on skill development stuff. We'll work on getting a little stronger, and probably do a few rebounding drills. But we'll also spend just a lot of time together, because at the end of the day, there's much you can see the love that our players have for each other, and this is a lot more than basketball.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.